Hi, I'm Rich Warner, gravel and cyclocross racer. Welcome to my channel. Please press the subscribe button. It's the 25th of January. God, is it the 25th of January already? And we are at the final Wessex cyclocross race of the 25-26 season. Where has the time gone? I can't believe we're at the end of yet another fantastic season. It's been brilliant. And this course is a great course. And who can forget last year with the epic storm? Conditions aren't quite so bad this year, but as you can see, it's very overcast and it's wet. And I was actually camping in the New Forest yesterday. I had a lovely time, and it was throwing it down with rain pretty much all day. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It's slippy, it's boggy in places. It's quite a unique sort of soil here. It's kind of sort of mud and a little bit sandy, and it makes for a brilliant course, but it is very hard work. And I spoke to a lot of riders afterwards, and they were really finding it tough in the last lap or two. Interestingly, Paul Lloyd and Andy Gardner are both absent today. Andy Gardner having already won the series. What a brilliant achievement by him. So consistent, great riding this year. But what it's done for this race is it has left the top 5 or so really open, and a lot of the riders will be thinking about second place today. Obviously you have to just forget about Adrian Lansley. He's too good, so everyone knows we can't beat him, so he's kind of irrelevant unless he has a major mechanical problem. It's highly unlikely anyone's going to get on anywhere near him. But when you look at the rest of us, it's quite open, and so I've decided to go for it today, and I've really pushed it off the start, and I'm in second place here, and I've made a great first lap, and I'm really trying to work these corners, just try and gain a little bit of time, and I actually found some really good lines as the race wore on. And today I've also got my spare bike in the pit, but it was perfectly possible to do this race today on one bike. The mud, what isn't particularly, it's not like heavy mud, so it wasn't really building up on the bikes, and plenty of people just use one bike. I always have my second bike in the pits, and really I just had it in there because sometimes the mud can build up in your cassette and you can start having gear problems. And very often, as I've done in the past, if I'm in a tight battle with someone and it's close, I'll often just come in and get a fresh bike just to try and gain a little bit more. And you'll see that's what happened today. I had a good line on this corner. I was actually squaring this hill off, kind of getting up it as quick as I could. And there was a nice little hard packed platform here, and I found it was a really good line. I used that a lot off the main line, and then I was crisscrossing across these ruts. Sometimes I don't always sort of follow the ruts where everyone else goes. I like to go across them. It just stops you sinking, and maybe you can gain a little bit more speed. I was also just trying to get to places as well at times where other people hadn't been, just to try and gain a bit more speed. And then we were into this wooded section. It was really good along here. I was using this left high line. I know you could also get along the bottom. I know Aidan Bishop used that late in the race to overtake John Wheeler really effectively. So there was a couple of ways through here, but I enjoyed this section, and I was trying to just use my skills to try and keep a gap and just try and pull away from the guys behind. But I did actually make a total pig's ear of this left-hander, and had to jump off and run. But today I was actually running really well, and I actually ran up here pretty much as quick as I would have cycled it anyway, so it was a good little spell. So I'm aware that there's a few guys just bunching up behind me. I know Pete Boosted is the next one behind me, and then I think it's maybe Phil Smith. I'm not entirely sure. John Wheeler's there as well. I'm not entirely sure of the order. A little bit further back is Aidan Bishop, who's coming through. And I also know that Phil Bray is there now. Phil's come across from another league, and you'll see later in the race Phil actually ends up finishing in second place. And I mean, he's clearly, I haven't raced against him before, or maybe I have, but I just haven't noticed. But he's incredibly strong to come to Wessex and beat all the guys in this league, apart from the obvious, which was Adrian Lansley. That is some achievement. So fair play, mate. You showed us a clean pair of hills today, so to speak, and that's a great finishing in a great second place in this league. That is not an easy thing to do. But I'm just at the end of the first lap now, and yeah, I'm feeling really good, and I'm absolutely focused, and I'm absolutely determined to try and stay here as quick for as long as I can. And I've just jumped forward a little bit there because nothing really happens on that lap. No one's coming past me, and yet again I'm jumping on this high line. It's still holding up well. Nobody else is using it as far as I can tell, and I'm just crisscrossing a little bit here, just looking up, moving left and right, just trying to spot the best line, and it's going really, really well, and I'm really enjoying myself. And what made this race quite difficult today and quite unique was the fact that each lap the lines kept changing, so you had to be sort of open-minded to change your lines on certain sections, because what you would find was the mud was actually moving. And later on in the race I used a line that I'd used a couple of laps before, and I just almost stopped dead in the mud. I got completely caught out and it just killed off my momentum, and it was at quite a crucial point in the race, as you'll see on the video. But yeah, it did make it difficult. With so many riders going around, the track was, it was obviously going to change, but it's all part of the fun, and it's really good, because I like races like that when you have to really think and really look up. It's not just about out and out power, it's about being smart and trying to find the best bits of the track to go as fast as you can. It's a great part of cyclocross. So we're coming up to the end of lap 2, and I'm still holding on to second, and it's going well. And now on this next section, this particular section here, it was okay. It wasn't cutting up too much. It was holding out really well. But the next section, it was really quite boggy, and I was trying to get right over to the right hand side where less people were going, because it was less boggy there, and it was possibly a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. Any single advantage I can get, I will use, even the tiniest things. The trouble is I've obviously smacked the post and it's twisted my camera, but I soon noticed it. There's Louis Tyndall here. Poor old Louis had a DNF today. I'm not sure what happened to his bike. That's sad to see, but he's had a great season, some good results, been very consistent this year. Well done, Louis. But yeah, I was using that right hand line. You've always got to be careful when you do use those lines on the edge of the track. I do sort of push it and risk it, because it is very easy to collect the tape and end up with it all in your rear derailleur. I actually did that last year at Dalton, wrapped it around my derailleur, and then ended up snapping off the rear mech, and it smacked the frame and broke my carbon frame. I was pretty gutted about that. So it is risky, but like I say, I'll use any little advantage that I can to gain any forward momentum. And you can just see there now, Pete Boosted is coming up to me. He's just gradually working his way up, but I'm doing really well to hold second place for this long. I'm so pleased. So on that little section there's a couple of little sort of tiny little corners, and on sections like that into this downhill, I'm always looking to keep off my brakes as much as possible and carry as much speed as I can. I often see riders just brushing their brakes, and they're not really thinking, because they really don't need to do it. if you don't need to brake, then don't. It's not like you're riding a motorbike where you can just hit the brakes on the inside of a corner and then accelerate out. On bicycles, once you lose speed, it takes effort to get it back up to speed again, to get yourself going again. So I always try and keep off my brakes. I get it from downhill racing, where we always talked about carrying speed. So we would practice a section of track and we would try and find the best line to carry the speed into the next section. It was so important. Tiny margins. And okay, it's not quite so crucial in cyclocross as in a downhill race, but all these little things, they add up. And at the end of the day, you know, if you can make yourself quicker by doing all the tiny little things, then they can add up to quite a big thing. So for me personally, I think it's worth doing. So I think this is 3 laps to go, and I've been caught by Pete Boosted, and Pete's one of the strongest riders in the league, as you all know by now, and Pete is just gonna gradually ease away from me. You can tell that when we get to any of the sort of more power sections, he's opening up, but I do manage to work him back in a bit on some of these corners, but ultimately he's gonna ease away from me. But it's no disgrace getting dropped by Pete. He goes on to finish a brilliant 3rd place today, so well done, Pete. Great end to the season, and I'm just gonna hold on to him for as long as I can. I managed to pull him back in a little bit on some of these corners here, but ultimately he's going to disappear off into the distance. And gravel season is not far away. I've entered the first gravel race of the season on March the 7th, the Sherwood Pines Trophy. It's actually the first round of the new British Gravel Trophy Series, organised by Glorious Gravel. It looks like a really good event actually, and it's what I like about it is it's 4 laps of a 15k course, and so it's only about, I think that's about 37 miles, 38 miles, and I like that. It's a nice easy distance to do at the start of the season. When you consider I've raced the Worlds, I raced the Worlds in Belgium in 24. That was 115 miles, which is just bonkers. That was super tough. It was awesome, don't get me wrong, I had a great time, but it's nice to do the first race sort of less than 40 miles. It gives us all a chance to sort of ease ourselves into the season, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then a couple of weeks after that, it's the beach race, and everybody loves the beach race, so I'm looking forward to that. As I said before, I've got my grid in, which makes a big difference, and I've got the luxury of I don't have to ride the night race. If it's pouring rain and the conditions aren't very good, I can miss the night race on the Saturday night. I don't need to do that because you can qualify from that, you see, as I'm sure you all know. But if you got in the top so many last year, then you get your grid in place already guaranteed. And I'm just being caught here by Phil Bray, who is clearly a very strong rider from another league. And as I said earlier, to come to Wessex and get 2nd, that is some going. And to do it as well from the back of the grid, I'm assuming he was gridded right at the back, that is even more impressive. So full credit to get 2nd in this league. That is seriously tricky, difficult thing to do. And of course, this is my final ever 40s cyclocross race. I'm feeling a bit sad about it. I'm really excited for next season, but I'm also quite sad because I made some great friends in the 40s. I've had some brilliant battles and I've thoroughly enjoyed my returned to cross over the last few years, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And like I say, I'm sad to leave the 40s, but the 50s league is going to be just as much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be good to battle again with my old mate Wazza. It's been a couple of years since I raced against him, so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm hoping to definitely be at the first couple of national trophy races just to see how I get on. If things go well, I'll do the full, or I'll do most of the series, but I'm not going to do any more cross races after this. I want to wrap up the season here today, and then I can start getting my bikes nicely cleaned and stripped down. Like this particular bike I'm on now is absolutely desperate for a new bottom bracket. I was just getting it through today's race, so I get a new bottom bracket in this, and then get the bikes set up for gravel and just leave them in the shed, and I won't get them out until a week or two before. I'll get them out and test them. I've already made my tyre choice for Thetford Forest. I know exactly what tyres I'm going to be using for the beach race. So for the beach race, I'll be using 50mm mountain bike tyres. I find they're absolutely brilliant there, because where I'm 80 kilos, I like to use as wide a tyre as I can, because I find it helps me to not sink in the sand on the beach. And also the particular tyres that I use, they roll really well at the beach race. I was very successful with them last year, so I'll be using those, and I'll be using a slightly different tyre, or a very different tyre, for Thetford Forest, which will be 45mm G1 all-rounds. I'm pretty certain that's what I'm going to use. I'll check the course out when I get there, but from watching YouTube videos, it doesn't look too rocky and sort of flinty there. And I have had problems around where I live. The Schwabel tyres, they really don't like the Chiltern flints, and I've had quite a few holes in the tyres testing them around where I live. But what I have, from what I've discovered with the G1 all-round, if you don't know what that tyre is, it's the one with all the little sort of tiny little dots on it. On the indoor, there's a website for absolute geeks like me, and there's a website where you can look up the rolling resistance, and they come up really high on the charts. So on the sort of fast, on the courses where I can use them, where you don't have to worry about so much about getting punches, I always tend to go for the G1 all-rounds. But at the beach race, I just want to use as wide a tyre as possible, so I use mountain bike tyres there. So it does kind of vary, and I'll be using my mountain bike tyres at the Gralloch as well. I wouldn't even dream of using the Schwabels at the Gralloch, because they're just too prone to punches, and that is one place where punches are just constant. You'll see people all over the course, stopped all over the place at the Gralloch with flats. So tyre choice there is absolutely crucial. And as you can see now, 2 laps to go, and I'm still hanging on to 4th place, and this is great, but I'm becoming under increasing pressure from Phil Smith, and there is Phil, and he's accidentally stopped my momentum there. No fault of his, it's just one of those racing incidences, and I'm going to give everything I can to try and hang on to onto Phil's wheel, but I am incredibly tired right now. I have worked so hard, but I am not giving up. I'm going to fight all I can to hang on to my 4th place. At this point in the race, I'm aware that Phil is stronger than me, so I've already made the decision in my mind that I'm going to come in and get my other bike just to try and maybe gain a little bit. I may as well. But, well, and following on from that, my gears did actually jam in the woods just now. It didn't cost me any time, but my bike very briefly got stuck in 1st gear, and I'm not surprised the conditions are awful. But I thought, as a precaution, I better come in and change, get my fresh bike, fresh gears, just in case it happens again. But also, you never know, getting on a fresh bike, like I said earlier, if the mud's on your bike, it can make a bit of a difference. And also, it's a psychological thing. Sometimes you get on a nice clean bike and mentally you just feel a little bit better. And at this point, I am on my backside. I am really hurting here, and I'll just take any little thing I can to try and gain any little advantage. Interestingly, on the section coming up, you'll see I go into the bottom of the valley, and I talked about the mud moving earlier, and a line I had used before which had been fine, well, the mud had sort of moved and I hit that mud and it stops me dead, and Phil just opens up such a big gap straight away. Phil would have beaten me anyway, I'm not saying that, I'm just making the point that it really didn't help me, and things kept changing all the time. So, but it made for such an interesting course and a great race. But from somewhere I've managed to find an extra few percent, and I'm managing to keep Phil behind me, and I'm doing incredibly well because, as I just said, I'm so tired and I just want to get to the pits now and get my other bike, and I'm really hoping I can get in the pits and get out in front of Phil. And at this point I really like these corners here. I'm working these corners as hard as I can to try and gain a bit of time on Phil, but it's very, very difficult when you're this tired, and I'm well aware that he's got the advantage right now. He's definitely got better legs than me. He's come from quite a way back, but I'm not going to give up, and I am doing all I can to work the turns as hard as I can just to try and keep him behind me. And I've managed to get round to the pits and keep Phil behind me, so it's a real positive at this point. And I'm going to come into the pits, and big thanks to James Alloway and David Hobbs. James takes my bike and Dave's got my spare bike, and there's a great change, and it's quite funny because that makes me laugh that you can just see I've managed to get out in front of Phil, which is really positive thing to do. But it's quite funny, I was laughing at myself because when I watched that on the video that I'm running there, my body language, I can see I'm just exhausted. It's quite amusing. But I've managed to get out ahead of Phil, and I really want to try and do all I can in this wood section just to keep him behind me, and I'm doing really well. I didn't speak to Phil afterwards, but it's possible that he knew that third place was too far in front, so he just sat behind me and he wasn't sort of rushing to get past me. Maybe that's what he was doing, I don't know, but as far as I can tell from my own perspective right now, I'm holding him off, and that's a positive. And on the team table, the Cotswold boys, myself, John Wheeler and Nicky Richardson, we've managed to finish second in the team league, so really proud of that. We've done really well between us, and Nicky finished in a fine 22nd overall in his first season in the 40s, and John Wheeler managed to finish in 8th. He's improved a lot from last season, and to finish 8th in this league, that is really good going. And myself, I finished in 7th, and I'm really pleased with 7th. A little part of me does wonder what might have been if the start of the season hadn't been such a nightmare, but that's racing. You can't have it all your own way. Things go wrong. It's a natural part of sport. So to finish 7th again, same as last year, I'm really pleased. And John to get 8th, it's good going. We've had some great times racing together. I've really enjoyed racing with John, and John's been so consistent this year. I don't even think he's barely been out of the top 10. So it's been a really good season, and really cool for us to get second in the table, one place behind the dominance of Satonia. I'm not surprised they won. They've got some incredible riders. And I'm continuing to fight Phil I'm just refusing to lie down, and I managed to take him back again. And I'm just working the corners as I was earlier on in our little battle. And this is the final lap, and I'm continuing to keep him behind me, and I'm absolutely determined to take him all the way to the end. I'm also aware that not too far back is Aidan Bishop. Aidan has had a storming sort of last couple of laps, and he's come through, and I know Aidan can see us across the tape, so I've got half an eye on him, but I'm pretty certain he's not going to be able to catch us. So at this time I am fully focused on trying to hold Phil off. Phil's a very interesting rider to watch. If you look closely, whenever we get in the soft stuff, he's just too powerful, and he just opens up gaps on me, and he pushes big gears. He really has got a lot of power. He really grinds it out, and it's a reflection of his strength to be able to do that this late in the race. I don't think I push gears quite as big as what he does, but Phil's got the fitness and power to cope with it, and you can just see whenever we're in the soft mud, I'm just losing a few bike lengths, and I'm absolutely exhausted, but I'm still trying. And if you watch closely now, I make a bad line choice in this bottom of this valley here, and I literally just stop pretty much dead, and it's given Phil yet another advantage. Look at the gap now. It's unbelievable how quickly gaps in cyclocross can open up. That's why I'm always trying to minimise mistakes and never fall off without a fight, because you can just lose so much ground. It makes such a difference in these tight battles. And look at the distance now. Phil's just pulled a massive gap on me. So unbelievably, I've managed to close Phil down again, but if you watch closely again here, it's uphill here and a little bit soft mud, and he's just gone again. He's so much stronger than me at this point. Whether Phil was just backing off and just riding for fourth, I'm not sure. I assume he probably was, but I wasn't to know that at the time. So I'm obviously going to keep fighting and battling and just trying to get back to him. But I did work those turns very, very hard, found some good lines and managed to get him back close again. But this time, surely he's gone. There's only so many times you can yo-yo when you're battling with someone. In the end, you normally crack. And Phil is now gone, and it's just now a question of getting to the finish without any problems to take a really good 5th place. And I'm really pleased with how the race has gone today. I know Aidan Bishop isn't too far back. He can see me and I can see him, but he's not going to have enough time to catch me. And I'm really pleased to round off the season with another top 5. Very satisfying, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the race. Well, I enjoyed the race afterwards, not so much at the time. Such is the nature of cyclocross. And I want to say big thanks to the organisers. I know they were here since the crack of dawn, and they were here into darkness, and what a great event they put on. Always enjoy this one. So a lot of work goes on in the background So full credit to them. And just coming up to the last corner there, and it's been a very successful race. I couldn't have done any more. I couldn't even have found 5 seconds, to be honest. I've given absolutely everything, and I'm really pleased to see the finish line. And we're coming to the end of the race, so I'm going to wrap it up here, and thanks a lot for watching. I'm hoping to get a couple more videos in before the opening gravel race of the season at Thetford. As soon as I've recovered from this, which will probably take me quite a while in my old age, I'm going to get straight back into training to build for Thetford and the beach race and the Gralloch. So I'll have some videos out before then.
I couldn't do any more.
Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.
Well done, Nicky. Alex was out there. Well done.
You rode well there, Aidan. He got tape was all. He got tape on his. Who? Aidan. He got all tape in his front. Oh, Aidan Ansley. Yeah. And he was just walking up the fucking thing. He was so far ahead of all the other bit walking. Insane. Insane. Yeah, to get his bike. It's like we're out, Langley was walking with tape around his bike. It's like we're all hackers. A savage. What an animal. Yeah. Did he still beat you? Hey? Yeah, I come fifth. So far behind. You was able to just walk up to the pits and get the bike. I didn't see him actually. Hey, you've done well there, mate. You've been out for weeks. That's a really good ride. I'm going really well at the moment. I was second for ages. Second? For ages, yeah. Maybe 2 laps. Not too much at the end, yeah, I was getting my rhythm by the end.
Got some videos and pictures.
Well done, love, yeah.
I'm not a photographer, so just pictures.
That's alright. Yeah, no report. There you go, John. See my DQ down at bottom corner college. He's going there, all going there. How'd you go? You alright? You okay? Yeah, good, yeah. Aidan, you've done very well, I'm very impressed. See you next week. Missing the whole season and coming 6th, that's it. That is absolutely awesome. I've tried the last few weeks. You've actually done some training? Yeah, I've put in an ethics. Poland was like brilliant. He come by on the first halfway through, around the first lap, pulled away a little bit, but then I pulled him back, it went by and got a massive gap, I couldn't even see it. And then there was Tim was catching me, got dropped off. I saw Tim Dool was up there. And then he just seemed to just slowly drop back. He was pulling in and then he slowly dropped back. But then Aidan come from nowhere. Now he's like 30 foot behind me. He's so strong. And then he was on my back wheel. He's quick through them woods. There's not many people through them woods what you think he is quick through them. He come round the outside to the bottom line. I cut across the top ridge. He come carries momentum and come past me going up that hill. Downhill rider, wasn't he? Yeah. I'm not surprised. It was my legs were shattered with 2 laps to go. I wanted to stop with 3 to go. 2 to go, I really wanted to stop. I'm on the podium. Oh yeah? Yeah, well done, Rich. I'm chuffed about that, that's good. You didn't catch me though, did you? No. Phil Smith caught me when I was battling with Phil Smith. You better go and get your last lap and you're in the cap and stuff pack. Yeah. Specialised tyres. Rich, well done. Thanks. I tried. Yeah. Well in second. And Adrian in first. Well done, guys. We've got half a podium. But I just got to be on the top, Nicky.